remember the cold yellow linoleum floor and laying face up and seeing blackness. To my left, I could feel with my elbow this Eggo waffles box with waffles strewn all over me, and the tick tock of this ancient clock that was hanging in the kitchen. That was the night that I chose to end my life. As a professional dancer, I had struggled with an eating disorder for a long time. And one night I couldn't take the pressure anymore, and I just decided, you know what? If I'm going to end my life and get out of this whole thing, I'm going to eat whatever I want. And what I wanted was Eggo waffles. And I remember going down the steps with my baggy sweatshirt that was hiding my body, shuffling quietly to not wake up my mom, and reaching for the holy grail, the Eggo waffles. Only I didn't make it all the way to the toaster. I dropped the Eggo waffles box and completely blacked out on the kitchen floor. That was the night that I heard a voice. I can only attest it now to inner wisdom, but I saw myself, this lifeless version of me that I'd become. And I heard a voice say, you will never dance the way that you were meant to dance if you keep going down this path. You have to make a choice. Are you going to fight for your life or not? And that was the night that I chose to listen. Mother's intuition, my mom sensed that something was wrong and came down the stairs and gathered me in her arms. And I remember she was telling me how weightless I felt in her arms, and I just started sobbing, the tears just running down my face. And I confessed that night, I was feeling so ashamed of everything that I had done to control my eating, control my thoughts, control my weight. And I just told her everything that night. And I remember she held me like only a mother can hold you. And she said, I love you no matter what. And I realized that I needed help. And so I left the world of dance for a number of years to get that help. But what I realized is that we don't have body image problems in this world. We have self-trust problems and eating disorders, people pleasing, overgiving. All of these are symptoms from us as women disconnecting from our inner wisdom, our intuition. And I was startled to see that 1 in 10 women during the course of her lifetime will suffer from some kind of body dysmorphia, body image issue. And for those of us in the performing arts, the statistics are frightening. It's 1 in 3. There's so much cultural pressure to perform in these industries. And, I realize that it was about choosing to stop abandoning myself. I didn't just stop starving. I stopped betraying myself, and I started listening to my inner wisdom in a way that I had never before. Everything was focused on the external. What was the choreographer going to think of me? What was my dance partner going to think of me? What about the critics that were reviewing the performance? What were they going to think of me? What was I going to think of me when I stepped on the scale and saw that it was a certain number? I really had to learn how to reclaim my power and that inner voice and that inner dialogue for validation. And so today I want to leave you with an acronym that is near and dear to my heart. It's called TWIRL. And whether you resonated with my story or you know somebody in your life that resonates with this feeling of self-doubt, of feeling of just like wanting to end their life because there's so much pressure in their environment, I hope that you will take some of these tools to heart. So the T in Dorell stands for trust the whisper. You know, oftentimes our inner wisdom, it doesn't come as a shout. It doesn't come as this like giant broadcast. It comes in little whispers of where, you might want to make a certain decision or a certain choice, or if a certain decision doesn't feel right in your body. Some people call it gut feelings. Other of us just kind of know when something is off, but we don't listen to the whisper. So that's the first step, is to trust the whisper before it gets to be a shout, or in my case, blacked out on your kitchen floor, like ready to die. The W is weave a new story. No matter what has happened to you in the past, you have the opportunity with every breath in your body to write a new narrative, right? Take what you experienced and let it inform who you become, right? Not who you were. I had to learn to start talking to myself kinder, because I realized the voice in my head was pretty mean, was pretty judgy, was very, extremely, extremely critical. And the way I did it was to first share, right? I'm sharing this story with all of you, but I had to share it that night with my mother. I had to come clean to somebody, to come clean to myself. And so thinking about the people in your life, who do you feel safe with? Who do you feel like sees you for who you are? Start by sharing your truth to those people. And in the process of sharing, you weave a new version of it, a new story, a stronger version of you. So trust the whisper, weave a new narrative. The I in Dorell stands for interrupt the old pattern. There may be days where you slide back into, over giving or people pleasing, or in my case, just like being super restrictive with what I was eating and really mean to myself in the self-talk. So the easiest way to interrupt the old pattern is to just name it when it's happening. I like to wear a rubber band around my wrist, and I'll just pop it hey, just as a physical, tangible reminder that I can choose something different in that moment. So interrupt the old pattern using something physical, or just saying thank you. I don't remember who shared that tool with me, but it was very helpful. When a crappy thought comes up about your body or yourself, right? Just say thank you. And then it just wants to be acknowledged, and then you can choose a new thought. And the more that you do it, right, the less you'll have to interrupt the pattern. But at first, it may feel like you're saying thank you 1,000 times a day, and that's okay. Give yourself permission to do it imperfectly, because intention is the most important thing. So then the R is reclaim and reconnect to your why. Why are you doing this? Right? Why are you creating a new version of yourself? For me, it was coming back to that love of dance, just for the sake of loving dance and expressing myself in that way. It wasn't for the accolades. It wasn't for the, validation anymore. It was just because I have all this joy that wants to come out through my body and through movement. So for you, right, whatever challenges that you're going through right now in your life, ask yourself, on the other side of this, if I were to change this permanently, what could be possible for me? How would your relationships look differently? How would you structure your day differently? And, maybe it's more freedom. Maybe it's to feel adored in your relationship. Maybe it's to feel really proud of yourself in your career. Whatever the adjectives that come up are, that's your bigger why. And it makes those days where you just want to give up or say, F it, I'm going to eat this or I'm going to do this. And it's not really what your soul wants, but you're just going back into the old pattern. Remind yourself, what is my bigger vision here? And that will often, right, take us into a space of slowing down, responding to our environment versus reacting to it, which is so easy to do. And you reclaim, right, your connection to your body and to your wisdom. So reconnect to your why. And then the last one in Twirl is love yourself loudly. Do the things that make you feel so happy and joyful and light, that don't require an ROI, that don't require you necessarily to be productive or to answer to anybody but yourself. For me, I love taking my dog Bella for a walk and seeing new parts of our neighborhood. I love trying a new restaurant with my amazing husband, and just seeing, right, like how the different tastes like hit my taste buds. And for you, it might just be to commit every single day, right, to saying, I love you and you're good enough. Because so often, right, underneath this, it's like there's a feeling of I'm not good enough. I have to look a certain way. But what I realized through my journey is that nobody is watching your dance except you. So I want to ask you this. What would happen? Really take this in. What would happen if you trusted that voice that's been trying to save you all along? What would happen if you listened to her? Just close your eyes for a second. Take a deep breath. And exhale. And if you're in a place to do so, take your other hand and put it over your belly. This is where, as women, we store a lot of pain, a lot of shame. Take a deep breath. And exhale. What could be possible if you trusted this voice, this inner wisdom? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And I want to end with just a simple, positive affirmation, right? For wherever you are in your journey with your own body, with your own self-love, with your own self-care, with your own self-trust. And you can close your eyes if you want. No matter what has happened to me in the past, right? And you can say this out loud if you're able to. I still deeply and completely love and accept myself. I am enough as I am, and I treat myself with kindness, compassion, and love. And so it is. So I just want to take a minute to thank you for listening to this story. I would love to hear how it lands for you. I'm going to quickly recap the acronym one more time in case you came in late or you're seeing this late. So practical tools, right, to help you build that self-trust with your body, with your inner wisdom, to love yourself. Twirl. T, trust the whispers. Don't wait till it gets really loud. W is weave a new narrative, no matter what happened in the past. I is interrupt the old pattern. The R is reclaim your why, reconnect to your why and reclaim your body. And then finally, the L is love yourself loudly. You are so loved. You are so blessed. And I hope whenever you see this, you are having an amazing day and remind yourself that you are loved and you matter. Thank you.